Emile Zola, a famous author, said that man or a human being will not achieve its peak level of perfection or intelligence unless and until the last stone of the last church falls on the last priest in the world. What a philosophical and apt interpretation of church and religion. It was either George Bernard Shaw or maybe Dr. Johnson, I am not very sure, who said Catholicism is a highly organized hypocrisy. When we say Catholicism, it includes the entire Christianity. It's a very highly organized, perfect form of administration, but entire thing is hypocritical. It has brainwashed people into believing that there are a lot of things promised after life. And every time you sin, you can go for confession, get yourself excused. So, in a way, they have given a license to commit crimes, to do bad things, and go and confess and get mentally relieved. Both these great people, what they said, it applies to all the religions of the world in toto. All the religions have brainwashed people into believing certain things that cannot be believed at all, that which is not truth at all. When the question of convincing a person, reasoning out with a person, when these priests are unable to convince a person, they take resort to the word faith. They say you must have faith. That only means that you are insulting or abusing your intellect, your brain power, your ability to think. They want you to give up reasoning and have faith in whatever they say. Heart of heart, they themselves do not believe in what they say. And as a result, our people suffer from guilty consciousness all throughout their lives. There is a constant conflict between man in his mind about what is true, what is untrue, what is faith, what is reasoning. It's a continuous conflict, and that is why he suffers from guilty consciousness. People see the way how priests live, how they indulge into business, how they go after property, land, women, etc., and what they preach. George Fernandez used to always say, I left seminary because what they preached and what they practiced, there was a world of difference. So I had to leave the seminary. George Fernandez is one of the greatest Indian politicians, Indian Christian politicians, who many thought is the only man suitable to be the Prime Minister of this country. The poor man could not become a Prime Minister because he was born a Christian. If he was born a Hindu, he would have been the Prime Minister of this country long, long back. The manner in which these priests mislead people, they have made black into white and white into black. And most of the people, maybe 75% of the people believe in what they say. There may be 25% of the people who are having certain doubts in their minds and they must be thinking, but they are all still fence sitters. Still they rush to the church. They think if they don't go for a mass, they commit mortal sin. They believe that what priests say, what happens in the communion, that the living God comes down and gets into the communion, which is all misleading people. But people believe. All this is said only to make the people rush to the church every Sunday. It's only when people assemble in churches and fill their coffers, fill their collection boxes, these priests will be there. They can live. If nobody goes or nobody puts a coin in the box, none of these priests will remain in the churches. Now that lakhs of rupees, crores of rupees comes to them every Sundays in India, they have a luxurious life. They have bars in their houses. They have air-conditioned houses. Most of them have only Scotch whiskies, not ordinary whiskies. While 50% of our Christians are poor, below the poverty line, they don't mind enjoying with the money that a poor man gives. India believes in a socialistic pattern of society. Land for the tiller, house for the occupier. We have a philosophy in this country that believes that every person will have a small land and a small roof over his head to live. But today, there are thousands and thousands of people, or majority of the people are landless, houseless. They are tenants. Some of them, most of the Christians are living on licenses in the houses, on rent, on lands which are leased out perpetually, but still they are not the owners. Government of Karnataka in India has abolished this perpetual lease system and declared that the occupiers of these perpetual lands are the owners. And the bishop, the so-called landlord, and many other religious leaders and some private owners have rushed to the High Court demanding higher compensation. When the welfare-minded socialistic government has said that an occupier should pay rupees 500% in some cases and rupees 1,000 in some other cases. These landlords have rushed to the court saying that they want 20% compensation. This is greed, this is mischief, this is against the teachings of Jesus Christ. Religion and religious people cannot and should not do business or deal with property. The missionaries who had come had handed over these properties to the poor people, not to be taken back. Now the present bishops have found out a way to dislodge our poor people from these lands. How can you call these people as religious people talking about God? All this is hypocrisy, as George Bernard Shaw said. It's total hypocrisy. It's a mischief. It's fooling of the people. It is crime. We need a big movement, a revolution. A revolution to be created in this country. We want more and more people to join us. We do not want Christ to be dislodged from this country. We believe we are born as Christians, we believe in Jesus Christ, we believe in His teachings, but we don't believe in the way these priests have projected Him and misused Him. This has to be exposed, and I request all people of the world, all Christians, all reasonable people to support our movement. We need a lot of money for this purpose. The people who are fighting for this cause in a most democratic way, non-violent way, we are attacked by the goons of these bishops and these priests. Cases are filed against us so that we get dislocated and our movement dies. So plenty of money is required. So we request the philanthropists, the good-hearted people, those who believe in truth and Jesus Christ, to support our cause in whatever way possible. Thank you.